as you can probably kind of tell, is a really, really messy medium. I'm just being sure of that, or as sure as I can be. Anyway, that is one of my absolute favorite films ever made, up there with Casablanca is like my top two. Joined today by the talented and creative Ben Elliott. Ben, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for coming here, of all places. Thanks for the opportunity. All right, well, how about we just dive right in? Why don't you go ahead and just tell us about I Am Become Earth. So I Am Become Earth is a animated short film about a couple, Frank and Amy, as their apartment is invaded by some force after a portal to another dimension opens up, and they kind of have to wrestle with ideas of truth and just the meaning of like existence at that point, I guess. Very cool, very cool. How long would you say you've been working on this project for? Sort of 4 years, in different forms, I guess. I got the first initial idea for this about 4 years ago, but that was also, it was initially going to be a live-action feature-length project, but over time I realized that that wasn't really going to work like that, and kind of had to transition. So in this form as like an animated short film, it's kind of 2 years, and then I realized 2 or 3 years or so. It's hard to keep track. When I realized that I had to kind of pivot, sort of. Wow, that is quite a while to be working on this project. How would you say that I Am Become Earth has evolved over time? So, when I started, I didn't really have any experience with animation at all. I've done one 8-second thing for an intro to film class in community college, and that was pretty much it. And I was like, I'm never gonna do this again. I don't ever want to animate anything, which is why it started as a live action thing. But then over time, I was like, do it like this, I guess. So yeah, since then I've kind of had to teach myself how to even animate, and kind of it's just been a learning process all this time. So it's kind of developed with that over time. How are you animating this then? Oh yeah, so this is hand drawn. When I first started, excuse me. When I first started, I was pretty sure that it was going to be charcoal. Anyway, but I wanted to just kind of try different mediums out. So I tried crayons, markers, pencils, just pens. But ultimately landed on charcoal for this, which, as you can probably kind of tell, is a really, really messy medium. But I really liked that kind of gritty griminess to it, just the texture that I think every frame has because of that process. So is every frame unique then? Not exactly. One of the shortcuts that I kind of learned was that I can kind of randomize the order for like a image like this, which is still there's no motion. I can kind of cheat and not have nearly as many frames, just kind of randomizing that order. Whereas for a shot or sequence that has motion, every single one of those I have had to hand draw. Let me and then just a few things that I've kind of was able to work on. I don't really want to go too much into detail just because it's some stuff that happens later on. I have to say, this short film honestly really reminds me of It's Such a Beautiful Day by Don Hertzfeldt. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny that you mentioned that. That not many people know that one. Yeah, It's Such a Beautiful Day by Don Hertzfeldt. Really, really talented filmmaker. Yeah, that is one of my absolute favorite films ever made, up there with Casablanca is like my top two. So yeah, that was really, really obviously influential. And actually, when I first saw It's Such a Beautiful Day, that was right at that point where I was considering animation, and seeing that really solidified that yes, I can do this by myself, I can make this work, because a film like It's Such a Beautiful Day, which for me is so affecting, that was the point that I was like, okay, holy shit, I think that this can actually work, I can make this, I can do this, like that. So yeah, that one, I absolute love for that film, and yeah, 100% it's big influence on my film. So ultimately, what would you say was kind of the best or most rewarding part of this whole process? There have been various points where I've had to there's been a particularly daunting sequence I had that it's just like I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to make it work or what I was going to do, and just kind of plotting it out, figuring it, working on it, and then once I finally got to the end, seeing the progress that I made, and just once it all comes together, seeing it actually working, and that feeling is honestly really, really amazing, because it's like I can see that, holy shit, this is all coming together, this is functioning, and like trying to work with my limitations, like the fact that I know I don't really have photorealistic art skills at all, kind of leaning into that. I think with any independent project, or any project really, be it animated, live action, feature, short, or even non-film, it's kind of looking at your limitations and finding ways to make that work for you. I think I was able to do that pretty effectively throughout. That feeling that I would have every so often of just really seeing everything working together, really fantastic, actually, I have to say. Well, what's left? Not much, really. Basically, all of the editing is done. All that's really left to do at this point is just that little bit of polishing, just making sure everything is how I want it to be, the flow, everything works, and just being sure of that, or as sure as I can be anyway, and then just finishing up the music, because I'm also composing everything myself, so just all those little finishing things to hopefully be done pretty soon. And then after that, obviously everything's kind of up in the air right now with this global pandemic, but the plan has always kind of been to enter it into the Chicago International Film Festival. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that hopefully in some form at least will still be happening this year. That, and then really any festival, I think that I can try to get it to any exposure that I can get it, just working from there, I suppose. So as we're reaching the end, I understand that you do have a clip. Would you mind go ahead and setting that up for us? Yeah, So this is going to be about beginning of the second part. Siege. It's kind of broken up into three pieces. This is the beginning of the second part. This is after Frank and Amy have seen what's happening and are now kind of having to wrap their minds around the existence of this whole thing, this situation that they're in. And right now, they're staying at their friend Albert's apartment. So this is it. So I'm gonna show for now. Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you might like to add before we go? Yeah. Check out I Am Become Earth. Got both Facebook and Instagram under I Am Become Earth. Yeah. Stay safe out there. Not just for yourself, but for everyone. Stay home. Wash your hands. Be careful. Well, wasn't that delightful? Obviously, I'm losing my mind.